We've done wood craft projects for years, and yet apparently, we overlooked one wood piece that holds many possibilities. The wooden macrame ring is coming off the shelf into our lives with all new project ideas. Creative maker Darcie Liptrot has been discovering them for us today on Studio 5. It's great to have you.
Good to be back.
So the wood ring, what was it used for prior to this darling project, which is so unique and so fun?
So prior to this, and you've probably seen them everywhere, like, because macrame is so big right now.
Yeah.
They use them for macrame, like you use them for door hangers or napkin rings or just to hold the product as you build the piece out.
Okay.
So you can use it as a hanger.
But it's a tool. It's like a stabilizer. It's not actually part of the project usually.
Yeah, I think people weave them into the project and kind of make them a little bit zhuzhy in the middle of their macrame, or they use it to hold on, like to hang it, like as the hanger product.
I see. It's a suspension piece.
Yeah.
You can tell how into macrame I am. I admire it from a distance. I do. All right, so you have, turned this upside down, inside out, literally, and created some really fun projects.
So fun. Like, it was a challenging and fun experiment, I'll have to say. But what we did is just take these, and there's a couple of different ways that you can do it, but we made some vases, and we also made some, like, you could use these for candle holders, or I'm using them for Chloe's desk for college. She kind of has the boho feel going on.
Did you say college?
College.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
How does that happen?
It's kind of fun because then you get to do all of the projects for the dorm room, right?
Well, when I talk about this being a totally unique project, I can't picture a piece like this on the standard home decor shelves. Like, this is something totally unique, totally different. You could add to your layering, to your decorating. I do understand this project came with a learning curve.
There was a learning curve, but the good thing is, like, bright side is that I've worked all the kinks out for the projectors out there, the crafters that want to tackle this at home.
Good, okay.
One thing that I learned was I built this vase over here off of a balloon, and maybe you've seen that on TikTok, or it's kind of all the rage right now.
So sort of the paper mache effect where the balloon becomes the inside. I've seen lights where people wrap paper mache string.
Samesies, exactly, except for you're going to build it around a balloon. Well, learning curve moment was, like, first the glue was too hot, and I popped a lot of balloons. Like, the dog was so upset and hiding.
Not happy with you.
And, like, the dog
hates this project.
The dog doesn't love it, and she didn't speak to me for a while. Like, we had a falling out for a minute.
Okay.
But after that, we went back to and it collapsed on me, like literally. And we went back to the drawing board and said,
darn it.
I know. It was like heart-wrenching.
Yes.
But it's a good thing because then you're like, okay, I've got to learn a better process, a better way to do this.
So you needed a different glue, or what was the key to making it stable?
Exactly. I needed a cool, hot glue. And it sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not. It's kind of that same glue that we used on the carrot that we did a little while back, where we had the foam cylinder and we wrapped the rope and glued the rope to it. Well, we needed a very cool glue, and I needed more glue. I tried to hide the glue, and in the balloon method, it's hard to hide the glue because you need the glue for your stability.
Got it.
You need to make it stable.
So if that's the method you're using, balloon on the inside, gluing the cool hot glue around, you're gonna see the mechanics. You're gonna see the little clear glue dots.
You can see the clear glue dots, but I think it kind of adds to the charm. But if you don't love those, you could just take your twine and wrap it around, kind of like I did in this tall vase.
Clever you are. Like, I'm with you. I wouldn't mind seeing the glue, and really you wouldn't notice it unless you get super up close.
Yes.
But enter Exhibit B, you found a way to artfully, in a way that adds to the charm, I think, cover up those glue splatters with just some little twine.
Yeah, it's still consistent with that boho feel that we're going for, but it kind of just gives it like a little bit extra.
Are you working off of any sort of pattern here? when did you decide to insert the little guys, the mini guys, the big guys?
Such a good question. I love it because what happens is as you build it, it's like a sphere. Yeah. And so what I did was I took all of the bigger ones. These come in all sizes. Like, you can get them in teeny ones and quite large ones. And what I did was build it up with my main size, and then I went through with the other little ones and filled in ones that I thought were too big of a gap. You want some gaps to give you some, like, texture and to just kind of give you that look, but if it's too gappy, listen, you'll have a collapse moment too.
So you filled in the little guys after the fact.
I did, yep. I kept the balloon on. I kept the balloon blown up, so I didn't pop it yet. And then I filled in where I thought the gaps were too big.
All right, I won't ask this of the dog, but was it so satisfying to pop the balloon and see
it was
hold
so
its
good.
shape?
It was like, what's gonna happen? You know, like,
big
is it going to just like fall apart with the balloon? Because a little bit of glue hits that balloon, and so you just pop it and it stays, and you're like,
thank you.
I do know how to do things. Like, I'm a crafter.
I'm an expert with a glue gun. Now, knowing the glue then, the adhesive is so crucial to the success of the project. What glue were you using?
So what I like to use for the balloon method was a cool, like put it on the lowest temperature of your glue gun and use a foam stick. It's by Super Bonder. It's really delicate but very strong. And so that's what I used for the balloon method. Now, if you do not want to like go with the popping of the balloon situation, like you could just get a glass fish bowl.
Oh, look at this.
Yes, this is glass. And then that will take a different glue. You need a super high heat glue that will adhere to glass.
So you're putting the wood rings on the glass and connecting to each other.
Yes, I put them on the glass. I just glued them directly to it. And I do kind of love this method because the glue isn't as visible. You can hide it because you can glue the entire thing around and stick it to the glass. So it kind of hides if you don't want the glue to show. This is a great method for you.
But you said different glue. It's got to be the glass glue.
Yep, it's got to be high heat. I like a Gorilla Glue. Premier has a great glue. But high heat, and make sure that on the back of the package it says that it will adhere to glass.
Here comes my OCD self. Do you find yourself always spit shining away the fingerprints on the outside and inside of those little circles?
I mean, what I did first was clean it with Windex and then like tried to be very cool about it. But yes. I cleaned the inside of it, and then once I did that, I'm like, what shelf is this going to go on so no one will touch it?
And where are you putting these in your home? Where do you find they add the most wow?
I like this one. I liked it on the mantle. I thought that looked really, really pretty.
Yeah.
And I think that you could do like a few different ones on a mantle and do kind of like a boho mantle theme would be really beautiful.
Like a collection of three? Are we supposed to decorate in threes
like
or something?
threes or two on one side, one on the other. Like just kind of boho out your little mantle. But a lot of these will probably go to Chloe's dorm room. So
Chloe off to college. We're so proud of that
Lucky
girl.
kid.
And I am seeing some, you said all sizes, but now I'm even seeing some Cheerio size.
Yeah, they come in like micro mini size all the way up to really big sizes.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of options. And that's kind of what makes it fun.
Yeah. Stable enough to put on the floor, we even see, for kind of an odd corner or an empty area.
Yeah, you can, and the sky's the limit with the size. I mean, it just depends on how patient you are to build it up, right?
How long would you say? What's the time commitment for a project like this?
For a glass one, the time commitment is minimal. This took me about 30 minutes to do here.
Oh, it's a nap time project.
Yeah, it's easy peasy too with the glass. Like the balloon one took me a little bit longer because it takes a few more steps and you have to manage the balloon. So maybe it took me an hour and a half.
I love too that you can adjust this, and we've seen it both ways. Just empty, beautiful, kind of stands on its own as this 3D art piece, or you filled it with some fun seasonal things that as we get into fall, I can tell would be a fun textural addition to any room in the house, and desk accessories too. Chloe, we're cheering you on, girlfriend.
So cute. Or put little succulents in those ones would be adorable.
Cute. Darcie, thank you so much. Where can we connect with you? Win and even the fails too, as we learn along together and learn from you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Darcie Does Stuff because I love to do all the stuff.
She's so good at it, and she shares her gifts and talents and passion with us, which we appreciate. Darcie, thank you so much. Darcie Does Stuff on Facebook. We'll link you from our website.